Recorded Books presents Dearly Beloved, Prince, Spirituality, and This Thing Called Life by Pamela Ayo Yetunde. Narrated by Lynnette R. Freeman. To the Indianapolis, Indiana radio station WTLC and all the DJs who dared to play Prince in the late 1970s and 1980s when it was morally risky to do so. To all the DJs who play contemporary gospel music today, who are courageous enough to give Prince's body of work serious theological consideration and provide precious airtime for his music to be heard for the gospel that it is. Preface. Listen along. Welcome to America. If you don't know who Prince was, please watch the concert film Sign of the Times, then proceed to read this book. I recommend you also listen to Welcome to America. At the beginning of each chapter, I recommend a list of Prince's songs I think you would do well to listen to before reading the chapter, because the music will provide the artistic context for the words I've written and the spiritual practices I'm recommending. I am a pastoral counselor, raised in the United Methodist Church. From as early as I can remember until I was 18 years old, I went to church weekly, engaged in prayer, recited the Nicene Creed, knelt at the altar monthly for communion, engaged in service projects, led our youth group, and was taught that the Bible was the inerrant, to be taken literally, Word of God. Like countless trillions of Christians throughout history, I was conditioned to believe sex for pleasure, not procreation, and outside of marriage, was an eternally damnable sin. I never questioned this belief system, nor did anyone in my small circle, save my first boyfriend, try to wrestle the belief from me. I kept my legs closed, as my mother taught me to do. Virginal purity, in hindsight, was a privilege I didn't understand as a privilege until I saw a couple of girlfriends removed from school because they became unwed pregnant teenagers. One family moved out of the neighborhood because their youngest teenage daughter was pregnant. Rumor had it she was impregnated by their neighbor. In the mid-1970s, in the Midwest, if you were a girl in the church who wanted sexual and reproductive freedom, you ran the risk of being labeled as fast, as in sexually precocious or a hussy, a girl who was not really sexually free, but sexually sick and morally deviant. So a lot was riding on my virginal purity, but that lot, that privilege, was re-evaluated as I began to listen to Prince. If Prince's music could penetrate the Christian mores of my upbringing in the 70s, 80s, and beyond, is it possible his music still has that influence and power? Warning. This book is not for grown folks who want or need to hold fast to their piety. This book is for grown folks who are open-minded and open-hearted for a body of artistic work dedicated to helping Prince art consumers resolve, simply put, the tensions between good and bad, God and Satan, intrapsychically and socially, politically and spiritually. The resolution of these tensions cannot be found in capitalistic industrial nations such as the United States. Therefore, in his song Welcome to America, Prince sings about how the glitter and glam of the United States is an illusion. In America, it sometimes seems as though everyone is wealthy when in fact the illusion is built on the backs of the oppressed, and the transformation that needs to take place is really within
Sample complete. Ready to continue?